The small town of Ravenswood lay nestled in a valley surrounded by thick forests, isolated from the hustle and bustle of the modern world. It was a place where time seemed to slow down, and the residents went about their lives in peace. However, this tranquility was about to be shattered by an ominous phenomenon that would haunt the town for generations to come. It all began on a stormy night when the clouds gathered overhead, pregnant with rain and charged with an otherworldly energy. The townsfolk gathered at their windows, watching as the thunderclouds approached, darker and more menacing than any storm they had witnessed before. As the first lightning bolt streaked across the sky, a collective gasp echoed through the town. Silhouetted against the angry clouds were winged creatures, their forms illuminated by the flashes of lightning. The townspeople strained their eyes, trying to make sense of the bizarre spectacle. The creatures had large, tattered wings that seemed to span the entire breadth of the approaching storm. Their bodies were shadowy and indistinct, like apparitions moving within the tumultuous clouds. As the storm drew closer, the townspeople could see the creatures descending from the heavens, circling ominously above the town. Whispers of fear swept through the community as residents huddled together, seeking comfort and reassurance. Some claimed the winged beings were harbingers of doom, while others dismissed them as mere illusions brought on by the storm's intensity. Regardless, an unsettling unease settled over Ravenswood. Night after night, the winged creatures returned with each approaching storm. Their presence became an eerie routine, and the townsfolk grew more apprehensive with every passing day. The once vibrant community now lived in constant fear, its joy replaced by an unshakable dread. Reports of strange occurrences surfaced. People claimed to hear ghostly whispers in the wind, and shadows moved independently in the corners of their eyes. As the winged creatures continued to appear, the town's once thriving spirit began to wither away, replaced by a collective paranoia that cast a dark shadow over Ravenswood. Desperation set in as the townspeople sought answers. A group of brave individuals ventured into the heart of the storm, determined to unravel the mystery of the winged creatures. However, none returned, and the ominous sightings persisted. Ravenswood became a ghost town, abandoned by its residents who fled in terror. The once charming streets now echoed with the haunting cries of the winged creatures that continued to soar through the stormy skies. The town's fate was sealed, and Ravenswood stood as a chilling testament to the supernatural forces that lurked beyond the veil of the approaching thunderclouds. Years passed, and Ravenswood became a forsaken place, shrouded in an eternal gloom that seemed to emanate from the ever-present thunderclouds overhead. Those who dared to approach the town spoke of a pervasive feeling of dread, as if the very air was tainted by the malevolent energy that had claimed the once thriving community. Whispers spread about the cursed souls who had vanished into the heart of the storm, their fates unknown. Legends and superstitions arose, painting the winged creatures as vengeful spirits or ancient guardians of a dark secret buried within the town's history. The few who remained dared not speak of Ravenswood, for fear that the ominous entities might hear and seek revenge. One fateful night, a lone traveler named Emily, oblivious to the town's accursed reputation, stumbled upon Ravenswood. Intrigued by the desolation, she decided to explore the ghostly streets, her footsteps echoing in the silence. The air was heavy with an unnatural stillness as she approached the heart of the forsaken town. As Emily ventured deeper, the ominous thunderclouds above began to churn with an intensity that mirrored the terror that gripped Ravenswood. The winged creatures descended once again, their ghostly forms casting eerie shadows on the deserted buildings. Emily froze in her tracks, watching the spectral beings with a mix of fascination and fear. A whispering wind carried cryptic voices, beckoning her to uncover the town's secrets. Unwillingly drawn toward the heart of the storm, Emily felt an invisible force guiding her steps. The air grew colder, and the town's twisted history unfolded before her eyes, revealing tales of ancient rituals and a pact forged with entities from beyond the veil. The winged creatures, once revered as protectors, had become twisted and corrupted by the dark forces they guarded. As Emily delved deeper into the mysteries of Ravenswood, she discovered that the only way to break the curse was to confront the malevolent entities and uncover the truth buried beneath layers of time. With each revelation, the winged creatures grew more agitated, their movements more frenzied. Emily stood at the epicenter of the storm, facing the spectral beings that circled above, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. Determined to free Ravenswood from its curse, Emily spoke the long-forgotten incantations that echoed through the abandoned streets. A blinding light enveloped the town as the cursed entities writhed in agony. The thunderclouds dissipated, and the winged creatures vanished into the dissipating storm, leaving Ravenswood in a state of eerie calm. The curse that had plagued the town for so long was lifted, and a newfound peace settled over the once forsaken streets. Emily, now hailed as the town's savior, watched as life slowly returned to Ravenswood. The sun broke through the lingering clouds, casting a warm glow on the revitalized community. Yet, in the quiet moments, the memory of the winged creatures lingered, a reminder of the thin veil between the ordinary and the supernatural, waiting to be unraveled by those brave enough to explore the mysteries that lie hidden in the approaching thunderclouds. In the aftermath of the supernatural ordeal, Ravenswood began to reclaim its former glory. The townsfolk returned, cautiously rebuilding their lives and restoring the once deserted homes and streets. The dark chapter that had plagued the town for so long seemed to be firmly closed, and a newfound sense of hope blossomed among the residents. Emily, now woven into the fabric of Ravenswood's history, decided to stay and contribute to the town's rejuvenation. Her presence brought a sense of reassurance to the people, and tales of her bravery spread throughout the community. As the seasons changed, the memory of the winged creatures became a distant echo, fading into the folklore that would be passed down through generations. However, despite the town's revival, there were still those who remained skeptical, wary of the supernatural forces that had once held Ravenswood captive. Whispers and hushed tones spoke of lingering shadows and mysterious occurrences, as if the winged creatures had not truly disappeared but merely retreated into the shadows, awaiting the opportune moment to return. One stormy night, years after Emily's heroic act, a subtle unease settled over Ravenswood once more. The thunderclouds gathered on the horizon, mirroring the ominous events of the past. As the first lightning bolt streaked across the sky, the air thickened with an otherworldly energy. A collective shiver ran through the town as the silhouette of winged creatures emerged once again. The townsfolk, having believed the curse was lifted, now faced a resurgence of the supernatural forces that haunted Ravenswood. Panic spread like wildfire, and the once renewed hope was replaced by a chilling realization: the entities that had tormented them before had not been vanquished entirely. Emily, feeling a sense of responsibility, took it upon herself to confront the renewed threat. Armed with the knowledge she had gained during her previous encounter, she delved into the mysteries that still lingered in Ravenswood. The winged creatures circled overhead, their spectral forms casting an ominous pall over the town. As Emily stood at the epicenter of the storm, she faced the malevolent entities with unwavering determination. With a resolute voice, she recited incantations learned from ancient texts, hoping to banish the dark forces that sought to reclaim Ravenswood. The townspeople, their fear palpable, watched as the battle between light and shadow unfolded in the stormy night. A blinding burst of energy enveloped Ravenswood once again, and the winged creatures writhed in agony. The storm raged, but Emily's resolve remained unbroken. Slowly, the supernatural entities dissipated, fading into the night. The thunderclouds dispersed, revealing a sky that seemed cleansed of the malevolent presence that had threatened the town. Ravenswood, once again saved from the grip of darkness, returned to a state of calm. The townsfolk, grateful for Emily's unwavering courage, celebrated her as the guardian who had twice protected their home from the unknown. As the years passed, the memory of the winged creatures became a cautionary tale, a reminder that some mysteries were better left undisturbed. Emily, having fulfilled her role as Ravenswood's guardian, decided to move on, leaving the town with a renewed sense of resilience. Yet, in the quiet moments, the townspeople couldn't shake the feeling that the supernatural forces lingered on the periphery, awaiting another opportunity to test the resilience of those who dared to live in the shadow of the approaching thunderclouds.
Like, subscribe, and click on notifications that will allow you to stay up to date with the news and not miss videos from the channel, where there will be many more horror stories.